All right. Hey, hey everyone. I'm gonna give this a minute. This is our first time going live on StreamYard. We're gonna get a little bit geeky with you today. Um, we are going live on our Facebook and our YouTube stream, and we're going to talk about how hackers find computers to hack on the internet and how easy it is. So we're going to give this a few minutes and let everyone come in. All right, here we go. Again, hey, I'm Brian Horning here with Exact IT Solutions, and we are coming to you today to bring you a Tech Talk Live. This is actually our first time doing a live video across social media. And this is kind of a follow-on to the YouTube video that I did last week, where there was an alert issued by the FBI to K through 12 schools on certain ports being opened, or ports. You can think of, when I say ports, you can think of ports as doors that get unlocked. We as network people, we open up doors and we close doors and lock doors so traffic can't get through. So when I say the word port, just think of that as a door that's either open or closed or unlocked for somebody to gain access to. So the port, there's a specific port that is used to gain access to a remote system, typically, unless somebody goes in and changes it. That port is number 3389. So that's going to be important. So remember port 3389 as I go through this. So I am going to now share my screen with everyone, and we are going to, I'm going to show you exactly what it is that hackers use and how they use these tools in order to gain access to systems, because people think, like, heck, this isn't going to happen to me. This is never, something like this is never going to happen to me. I'm too small. They're never going to find me. I'm not big enough for anyone to ever worry about hacking me. And that's far from the truth, because quite frankly, hackers don't really necessarily look for a company and then say, hey, I'm going to hack that company. That's not how it works. So I'm actually going to go into and show you how it works right now. So up on my screen, I have a website called Shodan, and Shodan is a really it's a really cool tool that was built, unfortunately, to use by a ton of hackers, because it provides you with great information. Shodan can be found at shodan.io. And all it is essentially, it's a search engine to find servers out on the internet. It's a search engine. You can use it to find cameras, home cameras that might not be secured. You can use it to find anything that you basically plug into the internet and it's not being secured and it's just out there for anyone to get to. You can find it using this tool called Shodan. It's the equivalent of Google for finding. Google helps you find websites. Shodan helps you find computers to hack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of things with Shodan to easily to make it show you easily how quickly somebody can find a computer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to find a computer in the Philadelphia area that's open for an attack, because finding a computer out there is easy. I'm going to show you how a hacker would maybe use tools like LinkedIn and other tools to try to narrow their target and figure out who they're dealing with. Because once you know the geographical area of where a particular server is, and once you kind of gain more information, once you see that server, you can go to LinkedIn and quickly find out who owns that server and who your target is. So Shodan is the tool. It's right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I remember at the beginning of my live video here, I said, remember port 3389. That's the port that is typically used to get remote access to systems. Now you can change that port, but a lot of people don't. And even if you do change that port, it doesn't really change anything, because hackers can still find the remote desktop service. That's what gets you into the computer. They can still find that service running on a computer, regardless of what port it is running on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in port 3389. Type in port 3389. And it's a little slow today for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But you can see worldwide, there are 4,701,927 servers, computers on the internet that right now have this port open and exposed and accessible from the internet, which means there's almost 4.7 million computers out there that hackers can try to penetrate and get to. Now, I could do a lot on this video with the search engines and this search engine and show you a lot of cool things, but I'm going to try to keep this short. So I type in port 3389. I can just do something as simple as this. If I wasn't real sophisticated with Shodan, I didn't really know how the tool works. I'm just, some kid that just wants to learn how to hack, and I just want to figure some stuff out, and I want to go after, companies in the Philadelphia area. I can simply just go like this. I can just go, type it right, port 3389 Philadelphia, and then hit search. And look at that, I got a hit. So I got one hit, simple, boom. Now, I can get a lot of information from this. Number one, this is a City of Philadelphia system. This is a system that if I actually typed in this IP address in a remote desktop software, I could access this system and try to hack it and try to brute force into it, or whatever. I'm not going to try to do that. Actually, accessing these systems is against the law, and it's unethical, and we wouldn't do it. I'm just showing you how unethical hackers and criminals can easily find this kind of stuff. So this is a real quick search I did. It's a City of Philadelphia system. They're giving you a little warning here. That means absolutely nothing. You would probably never even know somebody was accessing this system. You can see that it's on Verizon Wireless. There's a very good chance that this person has port 3389 open on their computer, and they're using a jetpack or a hotspot to access the internet, and they're not behind a firewall. So City of Philadelphia, if you're watching, you have a problem here, and you might want to get this resolved. So going a little bit geekier on you, there's a better search I can do. I'm going to show you that right now, where I know Shodan, I know the tool a little bit better than the average bear, and we can do something called a search by hostname. And if I do a search by hostname, I can zero in on the exact ISP and the exact town I want. So I am going to search for, I know what the host name is for all Comcast service in the Pennsylvania area. So I got a pretty good chance of being in the Philadelphia area when I conduct this search. I am going to do our port 3389, the host name that I know to be the Comcast host name for all their customers in the Philadelphia area. This information is, you can find this easy. If you send me an email, I can find out what your Comcast host name is. If you're a Comcast customer, I can do the same thing with Verizon. Every ISP has this host name attached to your cable modem or your Fios modem or whatever you have in your house or your office. There's a host name attached to it, and you can use Shodan and search by that. So here we go. I'm going to hit this search, port 3389, host name for the Comcast, and what I'm doing here is I'm searching the Philadelphia area for computers that I can exploit in this area. And I do my search, and I quickly find that I have 900 computers in this area that I can choose from. And if we look a little bit deeper at what I have here, you can see that I have an IP address. I have the host name, and from what's in front of the host name is just the IP address again. Obviously, Comcast cable is going to be the ISP, and you start to see the city that are around here that we're getting to. So this one happens to be in Pine Grove. This one happens to be in Lancaster. This one happens to be in Severdam, and some of them will show you the company names. I mean, they'll have server certificates on, so I don't even have to search very hard to find out who this is. Here's York, Pennsylvania. There's Burnville, Newark, Philadelphia. It's not very hard. So the other nice thing about Shodan, or bad thing, if you're a hacker, it's a good thing. If you're a person who has your server exposed, this is a bad thing. So Shodan takes a screenshot of whatever it can access, and it tells you everything that it can access. So I don't even have to actually access the computer that is wide open for me to access right now to see who it is. I see that this computer here has an administrator account, a manager, a user 1, a user 2, a user 3, and I can sit here all day and try to exploit these accounts if they don't have proper security set up. And chances are they don't, because the port 3389, Microsoft told everybody many, many moons ago to turn it off, block it, don't allow access from the internet to this because it's easily exploitable. And unfortunately, people still do it. So as we look through here, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You have another one here. WurzachHotels.net/administrator, wide open. Not only that, your Windows Server 2008, that's end of life. Shouldn't even be out in production right now, and it is. And it's the same thing with these computers. This is all information that a hacker could use to easily say, wow, that's an old server, it's not patched anymore. There's 25 vulnerabilities that have been found on this particular server operating system since end of life. So I'm going to see if one of these vulnerabilities actually works and gets me in the system. Or I could just sit here and use a brute force tool and try to brute force my way in using that administrator account on this WurzachHotels.net server. So this is the Shodan tool that allows you to do it. I can sit here and I can go through all 900 or so, 800 or so results that Shodan gives me, and I can sit here and try to brute force these and access these systems all day long if I was a hacker. And that's how simple it is for hackers to find computers out there to hack. It's not about, I'm not coming in here saying that I want to hack Wurzach Hotels, but Wurzach Hotels is leaving themselves out there, and they're easily hackable, and then they're going to end up getting hacked because of this. And then you see here, you can get a lot of information. You have all these usernames that are just kind of sitting out there. If you start to do, this is out in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, if you start to do reverse lookups and look up information about this IP, and you can do certain things, and then you can start to put these names with people out on LinkedIn, and then you start to put a picture together of who you're trying to hack. That's how these hackers operate. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult when people make it easier for them. You can see all these are all servers that anybody could take these IP addresses and start trying to log into right now. Here's a Windows XP machine that went end of life. It feels like more than 5 years ago at least. This guy, Jason Grider, he's got his picture out there. This stuff is insane that, people leave their computers wide open to the internet for anybody. He's out in Springfield, Pennsylvania. So Jason Grider in Springfield, Pennsylvania, you got a computer that's wide open to the internet for anybody to try to hack into. And you can see he has cameras. He has a computer admin. He's got a friend named Joan, maybe his wife. He's got another person, Steph Greeter. This is just too much information for anybody to glean just by doing a simple search like this. And this is how easy it is. And this is the tool that hackers use to find companies and computers to hack. And they don't just go in and do this and start trying to get in. They do their research. Say, who is this Lynn Gross? Who is she? She's out in Pittsburgh. Where does she work? Can I do a search on LinkedIn for Lynn Gross in LinkedIn? Let's see if I can do that. So we'll do a Lynn Gross. So Lynn Gross appears to be the owner at Green Tree Printing and Signs in the Pittsburgh area. I found her on LinkedIn in a matter of 10 seconds. So now I know that I can target Green Tree Printing and Signs. And unfortunately, she also has tech here, so her tech support guy probably has this open. And unfortunately, that's something that we see all the time, is that managed service providers aren't doing, what they say they're supposed to be doing, and they leave things like this wide open for people to hack. So I hope this was informative to everybody. This is my first live video. I wanted to go live and bring this to everyone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. This is how easy it is for hackers to take over a system. This is how they find things. If you like this video, if you want to see more, if you have any questions about anything that I put here, hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer them. But I hope you like this demonstration. It was just a little bit of insight on how hackers operate and how they do things. If there's anything you'd like to see in future videos, let me know. But I hope this was informative. I hope you see how prevalent this is, what a big problem this is. And everybody needs to be aware of this stuff. And if you own a business and you don't know if you have a vulnerability like this that exists in your business, ask your IT person or hire a professional to come in and assess your situation to at least give you that peace of mind to know that you're okay. And if you're not okay, put a plan in place to take care of it. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see everyone soon.